FPL blank game week 34 team selection. My free hit chip is active and there's plenty of players to consider. So in today's video, we're going through my current working draft, which is not locked in by any means, as well as a quick review of how game week 33 went, the best bench boost of all time. So if you enjoyed the video, make sure you smash that like button and hit that subscribe. And let's get into it. What's up? It's FPL Vert, where arrows go green, but for the first time in 3 game weeks, they didn't actually go green. Very sad. 12 points off the safety score, including a -4 hit. The good news is the players that we took out actually outscored the previous players, including the hit, and we also have De Bruyne in place now, and I think he's risen in price and he will continue to do so. Of course, Man City in pole position for top 5 now after their win over against Aston Villa, and they'll face Wolves and Southampton in game week 35 and 36. So those are must wins for Manchester City. De Bruyne looks like he's starting games, so we're happy to have him. Can definitely roll until the blank in 37. But the bad news is that the rest of the team blanked. I mean, the bench was pretty much nothing. I mean, because Martinez would have definitely started on the bench. If it wasn't a bench boost, I actually just wanted Martinez to join the triple up in the starting team. So very bad bench boost. Burns -2. But they conceded 4 and he scored his own goal, so he got -2. Not very helpful. Salah, I thought would have been a good, at least have on the bench, last on the bench. Obviously, he didn't have a double game week. I'm not sure who I would have benched. Probably Isak actually. But yeah, not a good bench boost at all. But we do have some chips to play, so we can lick our wounds and just go again. So just a quick look at my team for game week 34. Yeah, I think I might actually need to activate the free hit. So if anyone else sees a team like this, yeah, it is a blank game week, of course. Manchester City, Aston Villa, Arsenal, Crystal Palace do not have a game this week, so that's why you have blanks. So let's look at what my current draft looks like. So before we go into my current free hit game week 34 draft, I just want to leave a disclaimer that this team is not locked in. So please beware of variation. It's very possible that the entire squad is changed by the time that the deadline comes around. But this is currently what I'm thinking. So in goal, we do have Jose Sa. He's my favorite goalkeeper at the moment, as since game week 24, 10 game weeks ago, Leicester scored just 2 goals. 2 goals in 10 game weeks. And I think, a home game for Wolves, they're in great form. They're 11 points with Manchester United now. I think, they should be able to rack up a decent performance. So Jose Sa is in goal. He is currently yellow flagged. So we do actually have Leno as the bench, because, well, I would have probably David Bentley, but I think Wolves have better assets to triple up on. So Jose Sa is my favourite goalkeeper at the moment, and Leno to come in if he doesn't make it. Trent Alexander-Arnold once again showed why he's attracted interest from the likes of Real Madrid, with a match-winning performance from the bench as his first left-footed strike for Liverpool put them 1 win away from securing the Premier League. Following Arsenal's draw with Crystal Palace just last night, Liverpool now only require a draw to be officially crowned as the champions of the Premier League season in 24-25. I will imagine they will look to put it beyond any doubt and set out to win a league title with a win in front of their fans for the first time in, let me check my notes, 35 years. They haven't lifted a title in front of their fans in 35 years. Wow. That's a whole generation of Reds suffering slips and near misses, but it seems like a lot of their fans have a lot to talk about Arsenal. Anyway, moving on. Currently doubling up on Wolves' defence with Rayan Ait-Nouri, who's a threat on both ends of the pitch, because of course he'll get a clean sheet if they keep one, but he is also producing attacking returns. He has 4 goals and 6 assists, which takes him to 10 GA for the whole season, the most amongst any defenders in the Premier League. Fabian Schär has scored in back-to-back game weeks, and he also has 3 attacking returns in the last 4. So hosting Ipswich means Newcastle definitely deserve our tripling up and backing. It's just we're a bit unsure about the starting front 3, which I'll discuss a little bit later, but given Isak is a striker and that there's 3 wingers vying for 2 spots, I think a defender is a good bet, especially the one that scores the most goals. You will notice that there is no fan favourite Ryan Sessegnon. On the face of it, he's listed as a defender, which is very exciting out of position prospect as he starts as right winger for Fulham. But he was a starting right winger because Harry Wilson was injured, and Harry Wilson has since played some minutes. He played his first minutes since game week 23, which was actually replacing Ryan Sessegnon on the 79th minute mark on Sunday. that means to me there is at least a little bit of cause for concern in terms of minutes. I just don't think he's worth the risk on the free hit. Mohamed Salah needs no introduction. The only question is really whether to captain him. Bryan Mbeumo became the second FPL player to cross 200 points with his 18-point haul on the weekend against Brighton. Despite playing, facing tougher opponents, but stretching back 10 game weeks, the same period that Leicester have only scored 2 goals in, only the promoted sides, with Ipswich fast approaching mathematical relegation, have conceded more XG than Nottingham Forest. So given that Brentford will have almost 2 weeks to prepare for a game that will be Forest's third in that same time period, it's pretty difficult to ignore Mbeumo. And given that not every single person's on free hit, I think anyone that's going to be on a wild card or doesn't have free hit will probably own him because he has got good fixtures to end the season. I do think he's worth including for sure. And he also has plays in the last match. So, obviously all the games in game week 34 on the weekend, but then we have a bonus game on the Thursday. I would like to have a little bit, some skin in the game to have some sort of involvement. So that's why he's in the team at the moment. Alex Iwobi is in just because I feel I need some form of Fulham, given that they're facing Southampton away. And as I mentioned, I don't really like Sessegnon. Robinson hasn't actually had an assist since February, and Fulham don't even keep clean sheets. In fact, only the promoted sides have kept less clean sheets than Fulham, so not really interested in their defenders. We'll talk about the forwards in a minute, but Raul Jimenez hasn't actually taken a shot in his last 3 games, so not quite interested there either. So we're going to have a Iwobi just because we need some Fulham. And back on the Fulham defence, Southampton have actually scored in 5 of their last 6 league games. So yeah, very not interested in their defence. Jacob Murphy is in due to his form and also his supposed nailness, as he is a right winger, but Anthony Gordon and Harvey Barnes are technically left wingers by trade. So I think Murphy probably is most likely to start. Whether he gets more than 60 minutes is another question. So again, not locked in on that one. Chris Wood is in, as I'm not really a fan of the alternatives. As I mentioned, Raul Jimenez is probably the first pick if Muniz is out. We don't know if he's going to be out anyway. And yeah, Raul Jimenez set to 0 XG in his last 3 games, so not interested at all. So Wood, of course, we know the season that he's having, and that Nottingham Forest playing for something I do think probably is worth backing. Then we've got Cunha. Of course, he's basically a lock unless Bellegarde is fit, because I've actually heard the Wolves coach Vitor Pereira hint that he doesn't need to change his team, and he said that after Cunha returned from suspension, so probably want to monitor with the press conferences. And then of course Isak is a lock, so you'll see that Cole Palmer gradually makes the bench despite his lack of form. I would prefer to actually start him, mainly because I believe there's certain moments in the season that can shift a club's fortunes, and there has to be some sort of momentum for Chelsea given that last minute win and the way it happened, and it was lashed in, and the celebration that we saw, and the fact that Chelsea are racing for the top 5. So he probably will make my starting lineup, probably over Iwobi if I'm honest, but we'll see. There's also the fact that James Tarkowski is out injured, an absence that actually saw it affect Everton straight away, as they conceded 2 goals after he went off. So I'm definitely interested in Cucurella as well. And then Miles Kerkez makes the squad due to United's poor form and likely rotation with one eye on Europa. So that's the current draft. Of course, it's not locked in, as I mentioned. Please beware of variation. I will post my final team probably not 15 minutes before the deadline, because I'll wait for news and team leaks and press conferences. So I will upload my locked in team before the deadline. So but keep it locked in. Drop any questions you have in the comments. Obviously you can reach out to me as well. I'm assuming a lot of you will ask why Sessegnon's not in the team, but yeah, that's why. So thanks for watching, and I'll speak to you soon.